Tesla died clutching a theory that could have changed everything. In his final papers, he wrote about a discovery so profound that the government classified it for decades. He claimed he'd found the fundamental frequency of reality itself, the hidden signal that controls everything from human consciousness to the movement of galaxies. What if he was right? What if there's an invisible layer of reality operating beneath everything you can see, touch, or measure? And what if learning to tune into it could completely transform your life? Right now, something extraordinary is happening. Your heart is beating at 60 to 100 beats per minute. Your brain is firing electrical signals at specific frequencies. Even your DNA is vibrating at measurable rates. You are literally a walking symphony of frequencies, broadcasting a unique signature into the universe every single second. But here's what nobody tells you. You've never learned to hear your own song. I'm about to tell you something that will change how you see everything. Every emotion you've ever felt, every thought you've ever had, every person you've ever been attracted to or repelled by, none of it was random. It was all frequency matching. When you walk into a room and instantly feel uncomfortable, you're not imagining it. You're picking up discordant frequencies. When you meet someone for the first time and feel like you've known them forever, you're experiencing harmonic resonance. When you think about calling someone and they call you first, you're both tuned to the same energetic channel. Most people call this coincidence. Scientists are starting to call it quantum entanglement. I call it the most powerful force in your life that you've never been taught to use. Here's the mind-bending part. Reality isn't made of things, it's made of patterns, invisible rhythms, frequencies so subtle that 99% of people live their entire lives without ever noticing them. But the 1% who do, they seem to live in a completely different world. They attract opportunities effortlessly. Synchronicities happen to them constantly. They make decisions with uncanny accuracy. People are drawn to them. Money flows to them. Love finds them. It's like they have access to some secret information that everyone else is missing. They do, and you're about to discover what it is. Let me blow your mind with what quantum physicists have discovered. At the smallest levels of reality, smaller than atoms, smaller than electrons, nothing exists as solid matter. Instead, everything exists as waves of probability, vibrating possibilities waiting to become real. But here's the kicker. These particles don't behave predictably until they're observed. The observer literally changes the outcome. What we focus on, we influence. Our consciousness isn't just watching reality, it's actively creating it. This isn't metaphysical speculation. This is Nobel Prize-winning science. The observer effect is one of the most replicated phenomena in physics. Your attention acts like a cosmic remote control, selecting which channel of reality you experience. Think about that for a moment. If reality is made of frequencies, and consciousness can influence which frequencies become real, then you're not a victim of circumstances. You're a co-creator of your experience. But most people are creating unconsciously. They're broadcasting static instead of signal. They're tuned into frequencies of lack, fear, and limitation without even realizing it. And then they wonder why their lives feel stuck on repeat. Your thoughts aren't just private experiences happening inside your head. They're frequencies with measurable electromagnetic signatures. Scientists can now detect and even decode thoughts using brain scanning technology. Every thought you think is literally broadcasting a signal into the quantum field. Your emotions aren't just chemical reactions in your body. They're complex frequency patterns that extend far beyond your physical boundaries. This is why you can feel someone's mood from across a room. This is why crowds have energy. This is why some places feel sacred while others feel heavy. You are not separate from the world around you. You are embedded in a vast web of interconnected frequencies, constantly transmitting and receiving information at levels far below conscious awareness. Right now, you have a frequency signature as unique as your fingerprint. It's composed of your dominant thoughts, your emotional patterns, your beliefs about yourself and the world, your physical health, even your spiritual state. This signature is constantly broadcasting into the field around you. And here's the profound part. The universe responds to your frequency like a massive echo chamber. Whatever you broadcast, you attract back in the form of experiences, people, opportunities, and circumstances that match your signal. This is why some people seem to effortlessly attract success, while others struggle despite working twice as hard. It's not about effort. It's not about worthiness. It's not even about luck. It's about signal clarity. Let me give you some examples of how this works in real life. The frequency of fear. When you operate from fear, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, you broadcast a very specific signal. That signal attracts experiences that confirm your fears. You notice threats everywhere. Opportunities seem to disappear. People respond to your insecurity. You create the very reality you're afraid of, not because the universe is cruel, but because you're unconsciously requesting it through your frequency. The frequency of love. When you operate from genuine love, for yourself, for others, for life itself, you broadcast a completely different signal. People are drawn to you. Opportunities flow toward you. Problems resolve more easily. It's not magic. It's magnetism. Love is one of the highest frequencies in existence, and it naturally attracts more of itself. The frequency of gratitude. Gratitude is perhaps the most powerful frequency you can broadcast. When you're genuinely grateful, you're acknowledging abundance. You're saying yes to life. And life responds by giving you more to be grateful for. This isn't positive thinking. This is energetic alignment. But here's where most people get stuck. They try to change their external circumstances without first changing their internal frequency. They want a different life while broadcasting the same old signal. It's like trying to tune into a rock station while your radio is set to classical music. The station you want is broadcasting, but you're not aligned to receive it. So why don't we naturally know this? Why aren't we taught to work with frequency from childhood? Because we live in a world obsessed with the visible, the measurable, the real. We're conditioned to trust only what we can see, prove, or hold in our hands. We value solidity, structure, things that can be named and labeled. But frequency doesn't belong to that world. It can't be boxed or frozen. It lives in the invisible realm. This creates what I call the myth of solidity, the belief that reality is fixed, hard, and external to us. But the truth is exactly the opposite. Reality is soft, responsive, and deeply influenced by our internal state. From the moment we're born, we inherit frequencies from our environment. Our families have emotional patterns that we absorb. Our culture has belief systems that we download. Our education system teaches us to focus on problems rather than possibilities. Our media bombards us with frequencies of fear, scarcity, and separation. By the time we're adults, most of us are walking around with incredibly noisy signals. We're broadcasting a chaotic mix of inherited beliefs, unprocessed emotions, and unconscious patterns. No wonder life feels so random and difficult. Here's what's really happening. You have layers of frequency interference, preventing you from accessing your natural signal. It's like trying to tune into a clear radio station, while someone else is playing 5 different songs at the same time in the background. Emotional static, like unprocessed trauma, suppressed emotions, and chronic stress create interference in your signal. These lower frequencies literally jam your ability to access higher states of consciousness and attract positive experiences. Mental noise, like repetitive negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, and mental habits, create loops in your frequency. You end up broadcasting the same signal over and over, which is why your life can feel stuck in patterns. Environmental interference, like the people you spend time with, the media you consume, the spaces you inhabit. All of these are constantly influencing your frequency. If you're surrounded by negativity, it becomes much harder to maintain a clear positive signal. Cultural programming. Society teaches us to focus on lack, to compete rather than collaborate, to fear rather than trust. These programmed responses create automatic frequency patterns that run in the background of our consciousness. The good news, once you understand how this works, you can start to clear the static and tune into your authentic frequency. Learning to work with frequency consciously is like developing a new sense. At first, it seems impossible. Then gradually, you start to notice subtle patterns you never saw before. Eventually, it becomes as natural as seeing or hearing. Here's how the awakening process typically unfolds. Stage 1. Recognition. You start to notice that your internal state directly affects your external experiences. When you're feeling good, good things happen. When you're stuck in negativity, life reflects that back to you. This isn't just positive thinking. You're beginning to see the actual correlation between your frequency and your reality. Stage 2. Experimentation. You begin deliberately shifting your internal state and watching how your external world responds. You practice gratitude and notice more things to be grateful for appearing in your life. You focus on love and find that relationships improve. You align with abundance and opportunities start flowing. Stage 3. Integration. Working with frequency becomes second nature. You develop an intuitive sense of what frequencies you're broadcasting and receiving. You can feel the energy of spaces, people, and situations before your mind analyzes them. You make decisions based on energetic alignment rather than just logical analysis. Stage 4. Mastery. You realize that you are both the instrument and the musician. You can consciously choose which frequency to broadcast in any situation. Your life becomes a deliberate creation rather than a random series of events. You understand that changing your frequency is the most powerful way to change your life. But let me be clear, this isn't about spiritual bypassing or pretending everything is perfect. Working with frequency requires radical honesty about what you're actually broadcasting. Sometimes that means facing uncomfortable truths about your patterns, beliefs, and behaviors. So how do you actually tune your frequency? How do you clear the static and access your authentic signal? Here are the most powerful tools I've discovered. Number 1, conscious breathing. Your breath is directly connected to your frequency. Shallow, anxious breathing broadcasts stress and fear. Deep, rhythmic breathing creates coherence in your nervous system and elevates your frequency. Spend just 5 minutes breathing consciously, and you can completely shift your energetic state. Number 2, meditation and stillness. The more noise in your system, the harder it is to perceive subtle frequencies. Meditation isn't about emptying your mind. It's about clearing the static so you can hear your natural signal. Even 10 minutes of stillness daily can dramatically improve your frequency awareness. Number 3, emotional clearing. Suppressed emotions create interference patterns in your frequency. Learning to feel and release emotions as they arise keeps your signal clear. This doesn't mean being emotional all the time. It means being emotionally honest and fluid. Number 4, frequency hygiene. Just like physical hygiene, you need frequency hygiene. This means being conscious about what you expose yourself to. The music you listen to, the news you consume, the conversations you engage in, the people you spend time with. All of these are either elevating or lowering your frequency. Number 5, alignment practices. Regularly check in with yourself. Does this feel aligned? Trust your body's wisdom. Your physical sensations are often more accurate than your thoughts when it comes to frequency recognition. If something makes you feel contracted, heavy, or drained, it's probably not aligned with your highest frequency. Number 6, nature connection. Nature operates at perfectly coherent frequencies. Spending time in natural environments automatically helps attune your system to more harmonious patterns. This is why being in nature feels so restorative. You're literally syncing up with coherent frequency patterns. Number 7, creative expression. Creativity is one of the most direct ways to express your authentic frequency. Whether it's art, music, writing, or any form of creative expression, you're broadcasting your unique signal when you create. This is why creative pursuits feel so fulfilling. You're aligned with your natural frequency. Number 8, service and contribution. When you focus on how you can serve or contribute to others, you naturally shift into higher frequencies. This isn't about self-sacrifice. It's about recognizing that we're all part of a larger frequency pattern, and when we support the whole, we elevate ourselves. Number 9, gratitude practice. Gratitude might be the single most powerful frequency shifting tool available. When you're genuinely grateful, you're broadcasting abundance, appreciation, and love. The universe responds by giving you more experiences that match those frequencies. Number 10. Energy management. Learn to recognize what gives you energy and what drains it. High-frequency activities, people, and environments will energize you. Low-frequency experiences will deplete you. Manage your energy like the precious resource it is. Number 11. Intention setting. Your intentions act like tuning forks, helping you align with specific frequencies. But here's the key. Your intentions must be backed by genuine emotion and belief. Empty affirmations don't work because they lack energetic substance. When people hear the term higher frequency, they often imagine something superior or exclusive, something reserved for monks or mystics. But this is a fundamental misunderstanding. Higher frequency doesn't mean better in a moral sense. It means more coherent, more aligned, more in sync with the underlying patterns of life. It's like the difference between a beautiful symphony and random noise. Both are made of sound waves, but one has harmony and the other has chaos. Living at a higher frequency doesn't make you special. It makes you effective. It means you move through life with less resistance because you're no longer pushing against the current. You're moving with it. Here's what actually happens when you consistently operate at higher frequencies. Synchronicity becomes normal. When you're aligned with your authentic frequency, the universe seems to conspire to support you. You think of someone and they call. You need information and it appears. You follow hunches that lead exactly where you need to go. This isn't luck, it's alignment. You're tuned into the same frequency as the opportunities and connections that serve your highest good. Intuition sharpens dramatically. Your intuition isn't a mystical power. It's your natural ability to perceive frequency patterns that your conscious mind hasn't yet analyzed. When you're operating at higher frequencies, your intuitive abilities become incredibly accurate. You can sense truth, not just in facts, but in feeling. You know things before you know how you know them. Relationships transform. People respond to frequency before they respond to words. When you're broadcasting authenticity, love, and coherence, others naturally feel safe and drawn to you. Toxic relationships fall away because there's no frequency match. Healthy relationships deepen because you're able to connect at more profound levels. Creativity explodes. Creativity flows most freely when you're aligned with higher frequencies. Ideas come effortlessly. Solutions appear. You tap into a source of inspiration that feels infinite. This is because creativity is essentially frequency expression. You're translating your unique vibrational signature into form. Health improves. Your physical body is constantly responding to your frequency. Stress, fear, and negativity create disharmony in your system, leading to illness and disease. Love, joy, and peace create coherence, supporting natural healing and vitality. This isn't alternative medicine. This is how your nervous system, immune system, and endocrine system actually function. Abundance flows. Money is energy, and it flows toward coherent frequency patterns. When you're aligned with higher frequencies, you naturally attract resources, opportunities, and support. This isn't about greed or materialism. It's about being an open channel for the flow of universal abundance. Purpose becomes clear. At higher frequencies, you can sense your unique role in the larger pattern of existence. Your purpose isn't something you have to figure out intellectually. It's something you feel into. You understand how your gifts and talents fit into the greater whole. Peace becomes your default state. Instead of peace being something you have to achieve, it becomes your natural state. Challenges still arise, but they don't disturb your fundamental equilibrium. You respond to life from a place of centeredness rather than reactivity. You become a healing presence. When you consistently operate at higher frequencies, you naturally become a source of coherence for others. People feel better around you. Conflicts resolve more easily when you're present. You become a tuning fork, helping others remember their own natural harmony. Now let's go deeper into the mysteries of frequency that most people never discover. Quantum physicists talk about something called the zero-point field, a realm of infinite potential that exists beneath physical reality. This field contains every possible version of your life, every potential outcome, every possible path. Your frequency determines which possibilities you can access and which ones remain invisible to you. When you raise your frequency, you literally gain access to higher possibilities that were always there but previously beyond your reach. It's like upgrading your consciousness to receive more channels of reality. But you're not just broadcasting your individual frequency. You're also participating in collective frequency fields. Your family has a collective frequency. Your community has one. Your nation, your species, even your planet operates at specific frequency ranges. These collective fields are incredibly powerful. They can either support your individual frequency or create interference. This is why it's so important to consciously choose the collective fields you participate in. The company you keep, literally and figuratively, determines which frequency ranges you have access to. And here's something that will stretch your understanding. Your frequency doesn't just attract experiences. It actually determines which timeline you experience. Every moment, infinite possible futures branch out from the present. Your frequency acts like a navigation system, guiding you toward the timeline that matches your energetic signature. When you make a significant frequency shift, you can literally shift timelines. Suddenly, possibilities that seemed impossible become inevitable. People from your past fall away while new people appear. Opportunities that were never available suddenly become obvious. You haven't just changed your perspective, you've changed your trajectory through the multiverse of possibilities. Also, when you're aligned with higher frequencies, your perception of time changes. Flow states, where time seems to stop or accelerate, are actually frequency alignment experiences. You're syncing up with the natural rhythm of creation itself. This is why some people accomplish incredible things, while others struggle to make progress. It's not about working harder, it's about aligning with the frequency of flow, where time becomes your ally, rather than your limitation. We're living through an unprecedented moment in human history. More people are becoming conscious of frequency and vibration than ever before. Ancient wisdom that was once hidden is becoming mainstream knowledge. Science is validating what mystics have known for millennia. This isn't happening by accident. We're experiencing a collective frequency shift that's awakening humanity to its true nature and potential. Old systems based on fear, control, and separation are breaking down because they're no longer sustainable at the frequencies we're evolving toward. This can look chaotic and frightening, but it's actually a necessary part of the awakening process. As more individuals raise their frequency, the collective frequency of humanity rises. This creates pressure on all the systems and structures that aren't aligned with higher consciousness. They must either evolve or dissolve. Many spiritual traditions speak of a new earth or a golden age. These aren't just metaphorical concepts. They're describing a collective frequency shift that transforms how we experience reality. When enough people operate at higher frequencies, we create new collective possibilities. Imagine a world where most people make decisions from love rather than fear, where cooperation replaces competition, where abundance is shared rather than hoarded, where creativity and consciousness are valued more than consumption and control. This isn't utopian fantasy. It's the natural result of collective frequency elevation. Every person who chooses to raise their frequency contributes to this collective shift. You're not just improving your own life. You're helping to birth a new paradigm of human consciousness. This is why your personal frequency work matters so much. You're not being selfish by focusing on your own spiritual development. You're being of service to the entire human family. Every time you choose love over fear, coherence over chaos, alignment over resistance, you're adding your frequency to the growing chorus of awakened consciousness. We've covered a lot of ground, but everything I've shared points to one simple truth. You are far more powerful than you've been taught to believe. You are not a victim of circumstances, genetics, or fate. You are a conscious creator, equipped with the ability to broadcast any frequency you choose. But with this power comes responsibility. Once you understand how frequency works, you can no longer pretend that your thoughts, emotions, and actions don't matter. You can no longer blame external circumstances for your internal state. You must take full ownership of the signal you're broadcasting. This can be overwhelming at first. It means that if your life isn't working, you have to look at what frequency you're holding. It means that changing your external world requires changing your internal world first. It means taking radical responsibility for your experience. But it also means incredible freedom. If you're creating your experience through frequency, then you can change your experience by changing your frequency. You're not stuck with the patterns you inherited. You're not limited by your past. You can tune into any frequency you choose, right now, in this moment. Start each day by consciously choosing your frequency. Before you check your phone, before you get caught up in the demands of the day, take a few moments to tune in. Ask yourself, what frequency do I want to broadcast today? How do I want to feel? What kind of energy do I want to contribute to the world? Then throughout the day, keep checking in. When you notice your frequency dropping, when you feel stressed, anxious, angry, or depleted, don't judge it. Simply recognize it and make a conscious choice to shift. Remember that your frequency doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone and everything around you. When you operate at higher frequencies, you give others permission to do the same. You become a catalyst for positive change in your family, your community, your world. Your coherent frequency helps heal the collective chaos. Your authentic expression helps others remember their own truth. Your commitment to growth helps accelerate the awakening of human consciousness.